I want to welcome all of you and welcome our Ustream viewers. Hello. So glad you can join us this morning. Now, this morning, the title of the event is 2027, the Contact Fulcrum. And Bashar is going to be talking about the events that have happened and the cycles in the events and how 2027 is a focal point for the beginning of contact. I just want to welcome all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And also I want to introduce the very talented Darryl Anka.
All right, guys, have fun. I will see you later.
A little say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. Once again, we thank each and every one of you and all of you together collectively for the co-creation of this interaction and the allowance of this transmission at this time. Each and every time you co-create with us these interactions, you give us the gift of experiencing through each and every one of you another facet of creation. We thank you for that gift. Let us begin this transmission at this time with the title, 2027, the Fulcrum of Contact. Now, we have previously in these transmissions discussed the idea of a general probability for a window for the beginning of open contact between your civilization and other civilizations more openly on your planet. This window in general has been said to be between your years of 2025 and 2033, give or take a year or two on either side. But the idea now is that things are beginning to crystallize a little bit more, and we can, at this point, in scanning the probabilities, pinpoint the year 2027 specifically as an acceleration toward the idea, the beginning of contact in a variety of ways, a little bit more than the idea of just delivering information to you. It will begin slowly, still. We're not saying that in 2027 all the ships are going to land. That's not what we're saying. So please do not misinterpret this idea. There is still a window. It will begin very strongly in 2027, and here is the explanation of why. Many of you are already familiar in your history with the idea of a seminal event regarding UFO contact that happened in your year of 1947, what you call the Roswell incident, where you really first began to realize that you are not alone in the universe through the crash of a UFO in the desert near your Roswell and Corona in New Mexico. From that point forward began a cycle. Once you had become aware as a society that other beings other than yourself exist on other planets and have the capacity to reach your world with their technology, many different things began to change within your collective consciousness, within your psyche, your awareness. And that began a 40-year cycle. Now, the 40-year cycle has been prevalent in your society for many thousands of years. The idea is that 40 years is generally, in your reality, the time it takes for a complete transformation of a society into a completely new point of view. You see examples of the idea of people changing over 40-year cycles throughout much of your literature if you look for it. The idea, therefore, is that from 1947 to 1987 was the first 40-year cycle when you became aware of the idea of other life in the universe. And in 1987, many of you started to realize that there was another culmination cycle going on then, and you called it the harmonic convergence. And at that time, we began to bring through more information about what's going on out in the universe and how different kinds of societies relate to your world, specifically about the idea of the beings you call the Greys, and how we first began to explain the real legacy, the real history of what that society was all about, being that they were originally humans on a version of Earth in a parallel reality that did not necessarily take care of their world, that destroyed their version of Earth through their technological means and their lack of spiritual context, and mutated themselves eventually in order to survive into the beings you now know as the Greys. We told you this story and helped you understand that the reason that they came from their reality to yours and many other versions of Earth was to access viable human DNA, since they were no longer able to reproduce, and with that DNA and their technology, create a race of hybrid beings that would continue their culture so they would not die out. As we have explained many times, of course, we are one of those hybrid civilizations. And Earth, in a sense, in its evolution, is becoming another hybrid civilization. But the idea being, from that point forward in 1987, when you began to realize what the larger story was and how you're connected to it, and how the information that we share with you is not only for the purpose of continuing the Greys' original culture from the parallel Earth, but also to help your world not necessarily go down the same path of destruction, because you had many similar traits and still have many similar traits to what it is that brought about the destruction of their version of Earth in their reality. But by disseminating and absorbing this information into your society, you have the option they didn't have. You have the option to take a different path. You have the option to create a reality that you prefer. You have the option to create positive realities of peace. So the idea here then is we are now nearing the end of that next 40-year cycle in 9 of your years in 2027. And that's why 2027 is now the focal point when the next 40 years, the next phase of contact can begin. It will accelerate at that point in a variety of unexpected ways. There will be more sightings, there will be more synchronicity, there will be here and there on your planet individual and isolated contacts happening. Now, as we have explained, the hybrid races that exist will not necessarily be the first beings that you interact with. There are others that you will interact with that in many ways are actually a little bit more like you and a little bit closer in relation to your world, and therefore interaction with beings more like yourselves will alleviate some of the ideas of panic that some people on your planet may feel in interacting with alien species, allowing you the opportunity to get used to the idea that you can have neighbors from the stars. And as soon as that becomes something that you are far more familiar with, then other races that are a little less like you can begin to introduce themselves in a constructive and peaceful manner that does nothing to disrupt the society that you have chosen to create for yourselves. But it will begin in earnest. The next phase will begin in 2027 and accelerate from there all the way up, as we said, till about 2033. Between 2033 and 2040, as we read the energy as it exists now, if nothing changes, the highest probability is that between those years, 2033, 2040, you will experience complete open contact on your planet. And during that time, also, the children that were created from the extraction of the DNA, the hybrid children, will begin to arrive on Earth to live in certain enclaves, in certain secluded areas, safe areas on your planet, again, where they can live as a group, where they can acclimate to living in your society, and you can acclimate to their society, and you can begin to blend and harmonize and welcome into your reality, welcome them into your world, and begin to really develop a real strong relationship with those children, to begin to truly understand your place in the stars, your very honored place in the galactic family, and through those years, 2033 to 2040, you will develop much, much more understanding of all the interrelationships that have occurred and can occur between your world and other beings from the stars. From that point forward, again, as we read the energy now, up till about the year 2050, all of that acclimatization will take place so that somewhere around the year 2050, you can actually enter into membership, if you wish, with the idea of the Interstellar Alliance and truly begin in earnest your education of the galaxy and a true understanding and connection of creation and existence that will spread you to the stars to explore, to discover more of yourself and allow you to truly, from that point forward, develop a true harmony and a true paradise on your planet. So 2027 will be the kickoff point for that, a very strong one, and you will see a lot of different things happening in that year. It will be a very exciting time. Now, before that time, we give you a little bit of a preview coming up into your next year of 2019, which we are going to label the crossing of the threshold. You will find 2019 will have what you would call a lot of things breaking up, ups and downs, scattering, more splitting into different parallel ideas, more dichotomy, more polarization, but again, the continuation of getting everything out on the table so you can decide what kind of a reality you truly wish to have. And it will lead up to your year of 2020, which is a very important point for a variety of reasons we will get into in more detail later. But the idea is you can understand it symbolically as not only the idea of 2020 vision, seeing very clearly now where you are heading, but also the way you use it in your reality of 2020 hindsight, where you can really look back, see where you've come from much more clearly to make a very clear decision in that year of where it is you would prefer to go and really begin to live in the reality you prefer, regardless of what may be going on with other people's choices, regardless of what other choices they may make to experience different kinds of reality than you may feel vibrationally compatible with. Regardless of that, the splitting into the different parallel realities and the different paths that can lead you into the reality you prefer will truly be happening in 2020, where you will have a much clearer understanding and a much clearer vision of where you've come from, why you've come that way, and where you can go from there. And that will help in that period leading up to 2027. That will help crystallize it for you and make sure that you are precisely, exactly, synchronistically where you need to be that serves you best in 2027 so that you may experience the fruits of all you have learned in the beginning of the point of contact with other worlds. So we thank you for working with us in this way. It is absolutely our passion to be able to further contact with your civilization among the other civilizations that we have contacted. It gives us great joy to be able to know that it is possible to interact with your world in this way and invite you into the family so that you can begin your process of moving at whatever pace is comfortable for you from the idea of Homo sapien to Homo galacticus. So, we will talk more about this in more detail as the years progress, as it begins to unfold. We will point out certain synchronicities that it would be wise to pay attention to so you can add them to your bag of knowledge and your ability to gain more insight and outer sight as to what's going on around you more clearly. And taking into account what we discussed last night of your time, knowing that you are all time travelers in a sense, determining which parallel reality paths you are taking by following your joy, by acting on your passion to the best you can, dropping all the insistence on what you think is supposed to happen and letting reality show you, letting creation show you the gifts that it has for you and responding to them in a positive way will drive you forward and allow you to experience the great acceleration that we're talking about that will come to a head in 2027. So then, in return at this time for the gift that you have given us in allowing us to experience all of you in this way and form a link and a bridge to your society with ours, I ask in return, how may we now be of service to you? Please begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Hello.
And good day to you.
Good day to you. Thank you. Okay, I had a question. It seems pretty crazy now that I'm up here.
Crazy questions are the ones we love.
All right. When I was really young, I was playing.
You mean like yesterday?
Definitely not yesterday. I was in 3rd, 4th grade somewhere.
Yes.
And I was playing in the sandbox.
Yes.
And I saw what I feel like a little flying saucer. It was like really small, like the size of like a sequin on like a garment, that type of stuff.
All right, yes.
And then I looked up and I put my hands up for some reason. And then I saw it fly into my fingernail.
Yes.
And then my finger started hurting really bad, but I can't remember if it was just if I'm really remembering it or if...
Well, in a sense, it's a connection. It's an information and energy download. In a sense, it's kind of like information to help orient you at that time, to help you remember more of who you truly are, what your path is in life, the themes you've chosen to explore. It's not literally what you would call a flying saucer, but the idea of a mote of information delivered to you so that you can absorb it, allow yourself to process it, allow it to be expanding within your consciousness, applying it in your reality. In many ways, those kinds of deliveries, those kinds of information downloads have brought you to where you are today. In other words, you already knew that you would be accessing those kinds of things, that those kinds of gifts would be given to you as they're given to all of you, to bring you to this conversation and beyond so that you can see the continuity of the path you've created in that way. But it also lets you know you always have help. There are always those watching. There are always those guiding. There are always those willing to help give you what you need. It's up to you, of course, to take it in and absorb it. It's your choice. But it's no more mysterious than that and not really crazy at all. Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
And the fact that it was delivered to you while you were playing in the sandbox gives you an understanding that your entire world is a sandbox that you can play in. And if you play more, you are more capable of being sensitive to receiving those kinds of help from other levels, other beings, other guides, and creation itself. So allow yourself to know that your finger is on the pulse and that you can reach out at any time and know that someone is always reaching back. Yes?
Thank you.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
Anything else?
No, that'll be all.
All right, thank you so very much.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day.
Thank you. I would like a little clarity on the concept of vibrations.
Yes.
Because I think you talk about raising or lowering your vibration.
Yes,
and I was wondering what it is actually.
It's your energy.
That's vibrating.
Energy has frequency to it. A simple example is what you call your visible spectrum of light, yes? You know it's all the same kind of electromagnetic energy, but you know that red is a different frequency, a different vibrational rate than blue, which is a higher vibrational rate. Yes?
Yes.
So when you allow yourself to align with your truth, your passion, your creativity, your love, you are allowing yourself to upgrade and accelerate, raise up your frequency. And by raising up your frequency, it makes you more sensitive as a receiver, in a sense, as an antenna, to pick up on even higher frequencies above and beyond your reality. Your senses expand. You start being able to perceive the structure of existence. You start being able to understand that you have a direct connection to Source. You start being able to actually experience it in that way. you start being able to realize that you are already being given everything you can possibly be given. You don't necessarily have to ask for more. It's that you just have to pay more attention to what you're already getting, and raising your frequency makes you a more sensitive receiver to be able to pay more attention to what you're already being given that helps you. Yes? Does that answer your question?
I think I could think about that for a long time, actually.
Well, if you insist. You can think about it for as long or as short as you wish. But it's really not that complicated. You're just making yourself basically more sensitive to receive higher energy information by matching that level, by matching that frequency. Remember, the principle is you cannot perceive what you are not the vibration of. So when you are vibrating at a certain rate, at a certain frequency, you can't perceive the things that are vibrating like this. You have to raise your frequency and become matched to that frequency like two tuning forks to be able to receive and understand and translate and process that vibration and all the information and all the experience that is relative to that vibration. If you're down at this level on this vibration scale, you can't really have any experiences that are representative of a different vibrational level. Make sense?
Yeah.
You have to think about that for a while too, I suppose.
But to rate, I guess the second part of my question would be to raise my vibration.
That's the formula that we've given you all. Yes? You act on your highest passion, because passion is the translation in your body of your true frequency. Okay. You do it to the best you are able, and you do it with absolutely no insistence and no assumption, thinking that you know what the outcome is supposed to be of acting on that passion, because your physical mind really has no idea. And if you insist on knowing what that outcome should be and put those kinds of restrictions on it, your higher mind and creation cannot necessarily then give you what could actually be much better than you have imagined. So you have to really trust the synchronicity and the higher self to deliver to you, when you're in the correct vibration of passion, all the things you truly need at that moment. Your physical mind is only designed to understand and experience what's happening, what's going on right now at this moment, and take that experience in. Your physical mind is not designed to really know what's going to happen, but higher intelligence does. And therefore it guides you and says, follow your passion. That's the compass needle pointing to your true north. That's the compass needle that allows you to align with your true self and your true path in life. Follow the passion, follow the love, follow the excitement, follow the curiosity, follow the creativity. That's what you are. That's who you are. And then you know your path will be unerring. It will be the path of least resistance, the path of joy. You will experience less struggle and strife. It's just the way it works. You're going with the flow of your current. You're not swimming upstream. You're not resisting it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's the formula. Act on your highest passion to the best you can at every moment. Do it as much as you can, as far as you can take it, until you can take it no further. Then act on the next most exciting thing. And then do that with absolutely no insistence, no assumption as to what the outcome ought to be, and see what happens. And then whatever happens, remain in a positive state. Even if something manifests that you don't initially prefer, you have to know it's there for a reason. There are no accidents. It's there for a reason. Learn to stay in a positive state, and then you can use what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer and get the benefit from it. But you have to know that whatever you are given is what you need at that moment. Because sometimes you will test yourself. Maybe something will manifest that you don't prefer, and maybe you will find yourself reacting in the same old way with the same old fear-based beliefs and say, oh, why did that happen? Something must be wrong. Something's off. I will judge myself. I must have done something wrong. That is what exactly makes that state stick and stay there and get you in a loop of negativity. But if you suddenly realize, all right, I recognize objectively that I don't prefer this, but I know it's got to be there for a reason that serves me. I just know that. Then you will be able to extract the benefit. You will see eventually why it happened in that way, if for nothing else again, that you tested yourself to make sure that you're not making your happiness conditional on what happens outside. You are making your happiness conditional only on what you decide is true for you. Yes?
Fantastic.
Is this helping?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. You didn't need much time to think about that then, yeah?
Well, no. Somehow it just
Clicked.
clicked in there.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Going back to when you were talking about the 9 levels of consciousness,
Yes.
I was trying to get a better understanding. You made an emphasis on the emotions, the beliefs, the emotions, and the thoughts, reversing them.
Belief systems are the blueprint that leads to emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that creates your experience in reality.
And you made a point to say that the way we normally think about that, we should flip that upside down. So that
No.
beliefs are on top.
No. Not that you should flip it upside down. What we're saying is you think it's upside down.
Yeah.
That's the way your society sees it. In other words, you think your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind are below your conscious mind. They're not. They're above. Because it comes from the less physical to the more physical. So the unconscious mind is actually a higher frequency than the subconscious mind, which is a higher frequency than the physical mind. So what we're saying is you need to understand that that's the way it actually is, so that you can work with it in a more constructive way rather than thinking that the subconscious and unconscious mind are below or beneath the physical mind, which gives the physical mind the idea that it's somehow in charge, which it's not.
So is this compatible with the idea of the chakra system? Because when I think about it, it doesn't...
Not exactly, no. It's not quite the same thing as the idea of the chakra system in the body. The chakra system in the body are simply the energy centers that process the idea of the beliefs, the emotions, the thoughts, the behaviors in a way that allows you to experience yourself either in balance or out of balance with your own true, fundamental, essential frequency. So the chakras give you an understanding of how to align more clearly with your true essential frequency and give you an understanding of when you may be out of alignment with that true essential frequency. So it's not exactly the same thing, although they're interrelated, because one is an expression of what's going on in the others.
Right.
Does that help?
So it won't help to try and synthesize those two systems of thought. It's just better to keep them separate. No.
You can synthesize them together. They do work together, as I just said. So if you understand the interrelationship of what the chakra centers are showing you, whether you are in balance, out of balance, then that gives you an opportunity to maybe go in and examine your belief systems and why the beliefs you're holding on to are throwing you out of balance, represented by the imbalance in the chakra system. So you're using the chakra system, in a sense, as a way, as an indicator to let you know when there might be something out of whack, out of balance, out of alignment within you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Some people are sensitive to being able to read that. Some people are not. It's not necessarily their particular permission slip. But it can be used that way. But that's the relationship.
All right, thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just wanted to know, like, basically, you have a very simple formula.
Yes, I do.
And
because creation is fundamentally very simple. It can be richly complex, but the structure is very, very simple.
And it's the answer you give to everyone every time, pretty much, in different words.
Because there is only one instruction manual. There's only one formula. If you understand that, you're free, and you can answer all your own questions. That's the point.
So
it's like saying, if I handed you an instruction manual to help you understand how to operate a piece of machinery, would you start looking for extra pages, going, there must be more to the instructions than this? Or would you be happy that the instruction manual was relatively simple?
I'm just wondering why, what do people get caught up in, why it seems so simple, and yet it's...
Because you have been taught to believe that things have to be a struggle in order to be worthwhile.
So the process, pretty much, if you were to begin, is to simply
the process
try to imagine
is to simply understand the instructions,
right,
clearly,
and to make that applicable and
practical, and to apply them in your reality, and you'll get the result. Just like, again, if you follow the instructions in an instruction manual for a piece of machinery, the machine will operate according to the instructions. Now, the machine of creation always operates. The instruction manual is designed to reveal to you how it operates to your advantage instead of to your disadvantage, because you're the one in charge of pushing those buttons. You have free will to choose whether you'll be in alignment with creation or out of alignment with creation. So the instruction manual is a way of understanding how to be in alignment, how to go with the flow to your advantage.
So the more excitement, the more passion you have,
Yes.
The higher your frequency.
Yes. The more you act on your passion. It's not necessarily about the volume of passion. It's about the frequency upon which you're willing to act on it. Because sometimes you can start small and you can say, well, I don't have any large-scale passion project or a large-scale passionate career or anything like that. But at any given moment, I have a number of options available to me that I can take action on. They can be very, very basic and very simple. Take a walk, read a book, call a friend, eat a meal. The idea is that synchronicity is the organizing principle. Therefore, whichever one contains even the tiniest bit more attractiveness, gets your curiosity a little bit more strongly than any other choice, that's the one to act on first until you can act on it no further. When you can act on it no further, then look for the next thing that has even just the tiniest bit more excitement in it, more attractiveness in it than any other choice, and act on that next. That's how synchronicity brings it to you in a way that makes it organize all the things you need to do in the order in which you need to do them in perfect timing. And you can start that way. Now, eventually, if it needs to build up into something bigger, then it will snowball into something bigger, because more and more opportunities will come to you synchronistically that might be representative of larger opportunities, larger expressions of your passion. But it's not so much about the volume itself as it is the frequency with which you're willing to act on it that makes the difference.
So there's not a threshold of energy, so to speak, that you have to cross before a manifestation occurs?
You're always manifesting something, aren't you? Aren't you manifesting right now? That's your nature. If you weren't manifesting, you wouldn't be having a physical experience at all. So obviously you can manifest. It's about becoming more aware that you manifest, and it's about becoming more aware of how you manifest, and about becoming more aware of how you can prefer to manifest things that are more in alignment with who you truly are. It's not about learning to do something you're not already doing. It's about becoming more aware of what you're already doing in a conscious way. That's all. You're already manifesting. That's natural. It's built in. You can't help it. That's just what you are. You're a manifester. You're a co-creator. So you create. But becoming aware that you are a co-creator is the point. And by following your passion, it raises your frequency and allows you more ability to become aware of your relationship to creation, and how you can be more consciously aware of how you are creating your reality experience through the choices that you make and through your beliefs about what you believe is true for you. Yes?
What does my frequency look like to you? Can you see like...
At this particular moment, your overall frequency is somewhere around 135 to 137,000 cycles per second as we read you right now. Understand that most people on your planet, on average at that time, operate between 40 to 60,000 cycles per second. The threshold between physical reality and spirit is 333,000 cycles per second. Most of you, when you transition into fourth density, when you upgrade yourselves and have your peaceful reality, finally, that you create peace on your planet, you'll be operating above the 200,000 cycle per second range. Our civilization operates roughly on average about 290,000 to 300,000 cycles per second at this point in our evolution. So that gives you some sense of a range.
So everyone in this room is fourth density, is that right?
You are moving into fourth density by your own choice, which simply means you're upgrading your energy, you're upgrading your frequency. You're allowing yourself to know that you can actually experience a reality of creativity, love, and peace, whereas many people on your planet don't have those belief systems and therefore operate at a lower frequency.
Is anyone
that's their choice.
higher than fourth, like fifth density, or is that possible? to be
higher than fourth density?
Yeah.
Not while being physical, no.
not well being physical.
No.
So at
Then
a
you
certain,
transition into fifth density, which is another name for what you call the spirit realm.
so when you reach that threshold, then your body moves into another.
You will no longer be physical.
What frequency level does that occur at?
Fifth density.
Fifth.
Yes, fifth density, above 333,000 cycles per second. And up.
So by raising your frequency, that automatically happens. Like you'll just disappear.
Well, eventually, but remember that it automatically happens. Yes, in a sense. That's why we call ourselves, in our civilization, quasi-physical. We still have physicality, but we also have many of the traits of spirit. Time and space for us are very flexible, very malleable. We're not anchored to it in the same way that many of you are. But the idea is that you experience that transition all the time when you die.
Say what color is my aura, for example? Like what core?
Right now, as we perceive it, it's kind of an iridescent, silvery, light seafoam green.
Is there a core like color that you stay with throughout your life?
The core color is white.
White.
Yes. The highest frequency, that's the combination of all the frequencies.
Is that my particular frequency, or is that
the core frequency is everyone's core frequency, because the core frequency is your spark of creation, your spark of all that is. But you have variations as a spectrum based on what aspect you're expressing of your core at this particular moment. You're nowhere near expressing your total core.
right? So I understood like people come in like with certain colors like red or
They come in with certain themes that may then be represented by certain energy spectrums that represent the theme that they're exploring or where they're at in the exploration of the theme.
So what color is my theme? Or
No. You're asking questions that don't have answers that way. I've told you where you're at right now. That's where you're at right now. That's all you need to know. Follow your passion. It will change automatically. You don't have to necessarily narrow it down to what color am I now? What color am I now? What color am I now? You're only going to slow down the process by focusing on it that way. Just be yourself, follow your passion, do the best you can. That's all you need to do. You'll be fine. Yes?
I wasn't.
That will do.
That will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I had another incident in the snow.
Another incident in the snow.
Yes.
All right.
So I went out and there was a gazebo with a
Yes.
Christmas tree inside it.
Yes.
And I went out there and the Christmas tree had fallen down and I put it back up. And then the next night when I went out, there was a path that was carved in the snow with rose petals.
Yes.
And I was thinking, oh, this is really beautiful. Someone maybe proposed or honored someone who had passed or whatever.
Yes.
But then the footprints were odd.
In what way?
They were small and they're like little dress shoes. They almost look like little
The shoes of
like
a child?
leprechaun or a child's shoes, yes.
Yes.
And then there was like a few animal prints.
All right.
Can you give me clarity on what that was?
I can. Oh, you're asking me to?
Yes.
Understand that as your parallel realities begin to split, you will find that there will be more also of a kind of crystallization in the energy field of your planet that will allow for what you would typically call both nature spirits and also sometimes, on rare occasions, some of the hybrid children to come and play a few tricks with you and set up symbols and set up scenarios like a game for you to follow, to see what you do with that and what it leads you to within yourself. So there are other kinds of beings that do exist that are connected to your world that you don't often see because you're not necessarily on a vibratory level to do so, but they have their own reality. They understand they have a relationship. with you as part of the earth, and sometimes they will manifest themselves a little bit more physically than usual to be able to interact in your reality. It's another form of contact. It's another form of delivering information, but in a visual way, in an experiential way, to see what you do with it, to see how you might also want to play, to see what you get out of it, to see what you add to it, so that you can go back and forth in playing with these other forms of consciousness, these other forms of life, so that you become more familiar with them on your planet, because in the future, you'll be able to interact with them much more directly. So this is the beginning of contact from the consciousness of the nature spirits themselves, to see how far you're willing to go, to see whether or not you're still going to be operating in fear or whether you're going to be operating in joy and love. Yes?
Yes, well, it was really joyful and loving.
All right.
And I took some of the rose petals home and put them in my medicine bag.
All right. And so?
I don't know why I'm crying right now.
Because you are aligning with your true self, and that usually forces the chemical components of negative beliefs out of your system through your tears. It's tears of release, tears of alignment, tears of joy when you are aligning with something you know is true for you, when you've discovered a new piece of yourself in the world. You have discovered a treasure within yourself, a treasure of your connection to those levels of reality, those levels of creation that allows you to be more free to be who you are. That's cause for release and joy. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yes. So when I discussed with you before, my teacher with the bone knife,
Yes.
I've had more communications with him.
All right.
And I decided to find out on my own
Yes.
who he is and where he's from.
All right. And what have you discovered?
It's still confusing.
That's all right. It's a process.
So
Doesn't have to come right away.
is he incarnated at this time?
I cannot help you in this process yet. You're in the middle of it. Can't spoil it for you. Can't spill the beans. Let the cats out of the bags. Open all your presents. You need to go a little further in your process on your own. Keep going. You're doing fine. At some point, we'll be able to discuss this with you further, but not in mid-process. Otherwise, we spoil the surprises for you.
Okay.
All right?
So you're probably not going to tell me what it means to follow the red feather?
I probably am not.
Okay.
Good guess.
Yeah. So the signature frequencies, so we all inherently have a very unique frequency.
You all
But
have
they
a
all can
unique
change?
expression. Your signature vibration, in a sense, will not change. But you can change the secondary vibrations around it that represent your unique expression of the signature frequency. But the signature frequency is a different expression from everyone else. It's your unique reflection of all that is. Your unique reflection as an expression of creation. Yes?
Okay.
And then you can express different frequencies of that, different ways of expressing that signature frequency as you go through your process of rediscovering yourself.
So when you're reading someone's frequency, you're reading the frequency around the signature?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if I just read the signature frequency, it wouldn't really matter much to you. Your signature frequencies are all very, very, very high. It's just that you're clouding them with all sorts of fear-based belief systems that doesn't allow the light to shine through as strongly as it could.
Okay.
That's the whole point. It's clearing out the attic, clearing out the basement of all the negative fear-based beliefs that cloud your ability to express the signature frequency that you are as an aspect and reflection of creation more fully. That's what this is all about. Letting go of who you're not and being who you truly are. Each of you is a puzzle piece within creation. You are a certain shape. That shape fits with all the other puzzle pieces to create the big picture of all that is. But when you try to be a shape you're not, you won't fit. You won't help create the big picture. Trying to be someone you're not is the most difficult thing you can do in life. It exhausts you. It tires you out. It kills you, literally, to be someone you're not. Let go and be who you are. Uplift yourself, and then you will fit, and the big picture will be formed before your eyes. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
So in light of what you said about the Fulcrum,
Yes.
I was going to ask about like an update on the precursors. Are they going to be more
They will be more active.
active?
For those that don't understand, precursors are extraterrestrial beings that look similar enough to you that they can walk among you, but they have a very different frequency. And the precursors go about your planet from time to time, walking through your cities and your countrysides. And when you might sometimes now and then pass by them, they observe to see if you can tell that they're not from your world. That is used as a measurement of your sensitivity and your readiness to be able to interact with beings from other civilizations. That's the job of the precursors. So that will increase, and especially it will increase in the Fulcrum of Contact year of 2027. Yes.
Okay. I think
Thank
that's
you.
it. Thank you.
One moment. Somebody asked, well, which civilization are the precursors from? They are from the fourth hybrid race, the Shayael, and some from the Yael, the fifth hybrid race. Because those are the ones that look most like you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I'm not sure how I got here, but I'm here right now.
Did you come by some form of vehicle?
I did,
All right.
but I literally signed up 30 minutes before this.
All right, so you're following your
I
synchronicity?
just jumped in my car and followed my synchronicity.
All right,
and
then
now-
that's how you got here.
And I'm standing here in front
Yes,
of you.
you are.
So I'm in the process, or I have been in the process, of letting go
Yes.
of everything that is familiar to me.
Everything?
Well, almost.
All right.
And I just let go of a 25-year career.
Oh, all right, congratulations.
Yeah.
Are you in a position to know that whatever it is you act on that is representative of your passion can support you in life?
Yes.
All right.
I definitely live in full faith with that.
It's not about faith, really. I understand what you mean by that, but it's simply about understanding how things work. Yes?
I feel
it's
like-
knowledge. It's knowingness. It's beyond faith. It's knowingness. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
so, now what?
Yeah, now what?
Well, what do you want to do? What excites you more than anything else at this particular moment?
Well, that's what I've been following, and that's how I ended up here.
All right. All right. Then you will keep doing that, we assume?
Yes.
All right. So, what else do you need to discuss?
Well, some things that have been happening have been kind of strange. During meditations recently, I keep hearing,
Yes. Well, strange is not necessarily negative, yes?
no, it's neutral until it's defined. I don't need strange. But I keep hearing Athena. I am Athena.
All right.
I am Athena over and over.
All right. Well, you're connecting to an archetypal level of collective consciousness that somehow reflects to you some of the themes of your frequency, some of the themes of your life. So if you look up what the symbolism is of that archetypal representation of the collective consciousness, it may give you some insight as to why you are plugging into that particular frequency and downloading information from it to help you on your path.
Okay.
Yes?
I've also been weirdly talking in tongues, which is kind of unusual. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It just keeps coming through.
That's all right. You are simply tapping into the fact that you are connected to many different kinds of levels of dimensions and realities and expressions of consciousness and intelligence. And you're sorting things out within yourself as to where you want to land in terms of how best to express your true self. That's usually what that's for. It's like going here, there, don't really know, haven't really crystallized what I'm saying, who I am, how I want to express myself. So it comes out in all these different ways until you find your language. And that means your language in the biggest sense, the way you need to communicate to be more who you are. That's usually what that process is for.
So to serve the entirety of the whole,
Yes. You have to just be yourself.
I have to fully express myself clearly
Yes.
as my true self.
Yes.
And then that is my absolute service to the entirety of the whole.
Absolutely, because how can you help anyone if you're not yourself?
Of course.
Therefore, as I said earlier, you become the puzzle piece you actually truly are, and then you automatically fit in the big picture. And that's what supports the big picture and allows you to experience how the big picture supports you as the piece of the big picture. It works in both directions. It's this and that. Mm-hmm. It's a whole system. It's a whole idea. Yes?
Yes, as nature intended. Yes. As my nature intended.
You are nature.
Yes. Yeah.
You are God. You are all that is. You are a piece of it. There is nothing but God to make anything from. There is nothing but all that is. Everything is a reflection of all that is. It is all that is. Mm-hmm. But it allows you to be the you are as a reflection of all that is. You are all that is experiencing itself as a piece of itself. Mm-hmm. You are the eyes of God, all of you, all of us, everything. Every experience is a reflection of all that is, God, Goddess, all that is of itself, because there's nothing else but the one.
Yes.
Yes? Mm-hmm. So being yourself more fully allows, in a sense, if you want to put this poetically, God to see more clearly through your eyes, to experience who it is as you. Mm-hmm. This is a beautiful dance. Yes?
It is. Full resonance.
It is the dance of creation. Mm-hmm. Does this help?
It does. Thank you. Is there anything else that I should know that you'd like to share with me right now?
If there was, I would have shared it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And a you good day.
So being Father's Day, I guess I want to ask a father-related question.
All right. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Father to be. So my wife and I are expecting a son.
All right.
And the first question I have is related to, at what point does consciousness actually enter the baby while it's in the womb?
Well, the way you're asking that question isn't exactly accurate.
Okay.
Because remember, everything is made of consciousness, no matter what it is. I understand what you're asking, but the idea is more, you're asking, when does that particular consciousness focus itself in such a way that it considers itself to be expressing its intelligence in a physical way, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yes?
Right.
Well, it comes and goes in a sense. It dips its toe in, it feels things out, it may recede, it may come back, it goes back and forth quite often. In fact, even after birth, the consciousness of a young child can kind of expand and contract, expand to spirit, contract to physicality, expand to spirit, contract to physicality. You say come and go, come and go. It's not really coming and going. It's just expanding its focus, narrowing its focus, expanding its focus, narrowing its focus. This can happen even for the first 3 or 4 years of life. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. But if you're asking the question, when is it capable of expressing consciousness through the actual physical form in a way that you understand as the expression of intelligence? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
49 days.
Wow. Early on.
Yes.
Okay. So that then along that
because
line,
at that point, the structures then exist within the embryo that allows for the expression of consciousness in the way you understand it, in the way that it needs to express itself as a physical being. Then it's capable of actually expressing the idea of awareness in physical terms. Until that time, there is no structure in the embryonic brain that allows that expression to actually happen in physical terms. But it takes 49 days for that structure to be formed. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
All right.
So while the baby's been developing, what are ways that we can support and nurture the growth of the child, both, well, in all ways, spiritually, energetically, mentally, emotionally?
Well, again, obviously, first and foremost, by being your true selves, because then the child is being born to parents that are willing to be their true selves, which then act as living examples for the child and how they can be their true selves as well. That's first and foremost, yes?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
So then the rest is up to your own imagination. When you are more your true self, you will have the inspirations and the ideas of what to do that would benefit all of you as a family. Yes?
Yes.
When the child then comes into physical reality, as we have said previously, then it comes into the idea of, quote unquote, educating the child, helping them, guiding them, acclimating them to the concepts of physical reality and your societies specifically. Then it's about making sure that you teach them that they are self-empowered beings, as powerful as they need to be to manifest whatever they truly need in life without having to hurt themselves or anyone else in order to do so. Allowing them to find what their passion in life is, and anything that you believe is important for them to understand about physical reality, as the parents, as the teachers, creating with your imaginations a safe space in which they can explore consequences of choices, so that when they then finally get out into the world, they will understand that their consequences do exist for the choices that they make, and they will then make more constructive choices because you've given them the opportunity to practice understanding the connections between the choices they make and the consequences that follow in physical terms. Also, whatever else that you believe they need to know to get along in your world, it would be best again to explore what it is that excites them the most, and then whatever you believe they really need to learn, adapt the lesson to their excitement. Don't try to shove their excitement into the lesson. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
Yeah.
By creating interactive scenarios that seem very real for them, you will see very clearly what path they choose to follow. Children who then are allowed to adapt the lessons to their excitement will be eager to learn because you're teaching them how to learn in a way that aligns with who they truly are and uses their talents, their specific gifts, bringing them to bear to absorb information. The bottom line, in a sense, about the idea of teaching information that you believe is important to teach and allowing them to retain that information is telling them stories. Story structure is the way all of you absorb information the best and retain it for the longest. That's why stories have existed on your planet for thousands upon thousands of years. Story structure is not something that you invented. Story structure is something you discovered within your consciousness, within your psyche. It's a specific pattern of consciousness and self-reflectivity that when you tell a story in a certain way with a certain kind of information that hits those story structure points, it resonates within you. It strikes a chord within you. And that allows the information to stick because they're willing to absorb it because you've hit that chord. So telling stories is very important. So tell stories that are stories of empowerment. Stories can contain the idea of what you call conflict, or at least the idea of what's going on between positive and negative belief systems, as long as they also contain the idea of transforming those things from negative to positive. Then the child will retain a very powerful instruction of how to do that in life.
Great.
That's what we would suggest to you.
Okay.
Does this help?
Yes, definitely. From fifth density, how do you look at and view the role of fathership or fatherhood?
Well, I'm not in fifth density.
Oh, I thought you were.
We are transitioning.
Oh, transitioning too.
But remember that fifth density is synonymous with what you call spirit.
Right.
Therefore, in that sense, it's not quite the same kind of an experience in non-physical reality as it is in physical reality, except the basic premise that it's about, in a sense, creating what I call that space, that provision of space in which people can grow and learn and become themselves. that can translate in physical terms. You usually think, I know this is changing and it's supposed to change and become more balanced, but I know that classically you usually look at the idea of the masculine energy as the provider. You understand?
Right.
Now, all of you have that energy. All of you have the masculine, all of you have the feminine. It's about finding the balance within and empowering everyone in an equal way. But the idea of that energy in general, that archetypal energy, is to provide that space in which something can then be nurtured by the feminine energy, so it gets both of those energies, the provider and the nurturer, and creates that safe, balanced space in which the child can grow in strength and balance and contain both of those energies and expressions of those energies themselves. So that's the spiritual view of the energy.
Yeah, that's great.
Does that help?
Definitely.
Yes.
I'd like to breach one more topic, if I may.
Yes.
So I work with a lot of people that have had head injuries,
Oh, how
concussions.
exciting.
Not for them.
You don't know that for a fact.
You're right. You're right. It's very challenging. But one thing that I find is people who have had concussions, they tend to hit their heads a lot, and they just attract bumping their head into headboards and someone else's head and corners way more than anyone else would.
They're trying to get something through to themselves that they're not getting. They are stubbornly refusing to pay attention, so they're beating their heads against the wall over and over again until they get the point, till they let it in.
But it's
now, that's not the case all the time.
Okay.
Understand, I'm giving you a generalization. Right. You have to take everything like this on a case-by-case, person-by-person basis to know what the reason is that they may specifically be doing that. Nevertheless, in general, on average, it's usually a representation that someone is refusing to pay attention. They're afraid to pay attention of something that they really need to pay attention to, and therefore they're actually trying to disorient themselves, realign their perspective. They're trying to, in a sense, beat the idea into themselves and pay attention to something that they are refusing and resisting to pay attention to, in general. So, if you can figure out what that is with them and work with them that way and get them to really investigate some of their fear-based beliefs, you may actually help alleviate that behavior.
Right, that repetitive head banging.
Yes.
Okay.
What is it you're trying to get through your thick skull? To put it that way.
Right.
What is it you're trying to get here? What are you afraid to get? That's usually the basis of it. What are you afraid will happen if you suddenly became your true being?
Right.
It's that resistance that usually causes it to get that extreme because you're trying to get your own attention. Again, generally.
Right.
Does this help?
Yes, with healing head injuries, though, and this
that's another subject.
No, not so much. I'm not going to go into healing them so much, but I've heard you talk about healing modalities and healers, and that it's never actually the modality or the healer or the medicine that actually heals.
No, the person heals themselves by matching the vibration the healer or medicine is giving off that represents the healed state. If the person decides to align with that particular frequency representing the healed state, they will heal themselves.
So then why is it with the modality that I use, head injuries tend to respond, very quickly? What is it about their attraction to this modality that allows them to align with that frequency?
It's the permission slip that works best for some of their belief systems. Yes?
Okay.
Or doesn't.
Yeah.
Again, many people will come to a healer to prove they can't be healed. Therefore, you've given them what they asked for. All you need to do is do your job. It's none of your business what they do with what you give them. That's not your job. Your job is to provide the vibration that represents the opportunity to heal themselves. What they do with that, none of your business.
Right.
Yes?
Great. Thank you very much.
You don't measure your success by how many people are willing to heal themselves. You measure your success by being yourself as best as you possibly can, knowing there must be a reason they came to you, even if it's not the reason that they think or you think. but they will get something out of it somewhere down the line. Remember, everyone is an infinite, eternal being. What's your hurry?
Great. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I love that. The measure of your success is by being you as much as you possibly can.
Yes.
That just feels so good. Thank you.
Yes, it does.
I have a question. The last event that I was at, the hybrid races, I had an experience where I felt like somebody else was in my body. It almost lasted.
Nope.
Okay.
That's not possible.
So.
You fill you up.
Okay.
There is no room for anyone in you but you. What you're experiencing is a shift in your own frequency that allows you to experience yourself as a different being than you are used to experiencing yourself as.
Okay.
It's still you, it's just a different expression of you, a different level of you. It's another aspect of you.
Okay. So I was, I got really tired. I had to take a nap at the break. I felt.
Sometimes that happens when new energy comes in that you're not used to handling. You need to take it more easily. You need to absorb it with your physical mind out of the way.
Okay. And then I had a hard time with my memory, and
That's a good thing.
Okay. I love that. Tell me more about that.
We have no memory at all. Zero. We simply know that we will know what we need to know when we need to know it.
I know.
Memory is created in the present. Doesn't really come from the past.
Yes.
So sometimes, now again, not always. There can be many reasons for this, some positive, some negative. But in general, what we're talking about is the idea that when you live in the moment, you don't need memory. You will know what you need to know in that moment based on the frequency you're at that is then commensurate with the information you need at that moment. That's the way it works.
Okay. And so there was a little bit of fear that came up because I actually was having a hard time driving, and I didn't recognize a few people.
All right. Well, that's all right. And you know, if that happens when you're driving, you can always pull over.
I eventually, because the next day it lasted, so I eventually had my friend drive us home, but I just kept feeling in and out.
That's fine. It's part of the process of reorienting. Remember, to reorient to a new reality, you have to disorient from the other one.
Okay.
So you're just in that limbo state of reorientation, attempting to find your compass needle and which way it's pointing again.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
It's part of the process. It's like shifting gears. You go through neutral to go into another gear, yes?
Yeah.
And in neutral, for a moment, the gears are spinning free.
Right.
That's part of the natural process of transformation and change. Ride with it, flow with it, enjoy it while it lasts. Yes?
Yes. And
like a mini vacation. In between parallel reality experiences when they click back into gear.
Okay.
Yes?
So basically your explanation is I was going into allowing new energies and transferring in between
an
parallel
upgrade of your own understanding of self, becoming more of who you are. Yes. But sometimes you will go through a little bit of a limbo state to allow that adjustment to click in a little bit more smoothly.
Okay, so it's okay if I don't remember people.
It's okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it,
Yeah.
or you actually will know less. Yes?
Right.
Relax, and everything you need to know will come to you when it needs to. It's all right. It's all right sometimes, even with what you believe to be your best lifelong friend. I've just blanked on your name. It's all right. I'm going through a process here. It's all right. I haven't forgotten about you. I still love you. But right now, certain bits of information are simply not relevant for me to know right now.
Okay. And there was I was told it was the second most powerful full moon that weekend. Was there anything that had to do with the energy, or can you speak to that?
Well, again, that's a symbolic reflection of what's going on in the collective consciousness on a certain level. It's a big subject. We'll talk about that some other time.
Okay. And then I really loved that you brought up the masculine and feminine archetypes. Could you expand a little bit more on each archetype and what they represent?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.
I love you.
Our love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
First, I just wanted to thank you for your role in the expansion of my consciousness. So thank you for that.
We thank you for all of your roles in the expansion of ours.
I had received synchronicities for Maui for a few months. So I went to Maui last month. And
the heart chakra of the planet.
Yes, I love it there. And on the night before I went to Haleakala, I saw a face with one yellow eye, and I got the name Carlisle. But if you could help provide clarity on...
If you will excuse us for a moment, even though it doesn't translate through the channel's body, we are laughing.
What's funny?
Carlisle is a funny being. Kind of a trickster energy that is native to the islands.
Okay.
You are dealing with, again, the idea of the expression of a nature spirit, an aspect of the collective consciousness of your reality expressing itself in a certain way that is kind of tricking you toward more of yourself. Very playful kind of energy.
Okay. The trickster has been coming up a lot for me in oracle cards.
Well, there you go. You have your own synchronicity with it.
Yes. And I feel oddly called to Maui in...
Oddly?
Okay, I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And there's something about the hybrid children where I feel like I'm going to have a role with that, but I don't understand why that nugget of information is being given to me this early.
Because Maui will be one of the sanctuaries for the hybrid children.
So sometimes when I'm meditating, I get faces of what I think are hybrid children. Like
sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not.
Okay, so is that something I'm opening up more to? Should I be connecting with them?
Can't you answer that question yourself?
I want to, I guess is the answer.
Well, it's not about wanting to. It's about, are you doing it or aren't you doing it?
I'm not currently doing it.
Why not?
I have many excitements at the moment, and I'm having...
But you act on the one that is the highest, that you're the most capable of acting on, don't you? Are you following the formula?
I am starting to, yes.
All right, up to you. The idea is to act on the one that excites you the most, that you are most capable of doing something about. If there are more than one that seem to have equal capability to act on, then it doesn't really matter which one you choose, because the self-guiding principle that's built into it will turn you around to the other one if that one isn't the correct one for you at that moment.
I agree with that. I understand that.
Well, I'm glad you agree with the instruction manual of existence.
I think everything's going good, and that's it. Thank you.
You are welcome. Mahalo. Many, many, many in the years to come, because of the splitting of the parallel realities and the subsequent side effects on Earth, will move to Maui. Not sure why you're clapping for that, but just making an observation, that's all.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How you doing?
Perfect, and you?
Really good, actually.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I have a lot of good questions. The first one is about the electromagnetic grid of the Earth.
Yes.
And the portals that open up.
Yes.
And people utilizing those portals for travel.
Yes.
Now, those portals
become more common and more consciously done on your planet in the years to come, although it does happen from time to time, now and then, randomly, and some people that are proficient at this can do that already on your planet, but it's not that many.
You mean proficiently, like with simply with their physical body, activating the whole body system electromagnetic?
Well, in other words, proficiently in the sense of being consciously aware of where the portals are, when they open, and passing through them.
Yeah. Now, when that happens, my question about that is,
yes,
does that happen where a person walks through a portal and it's already designated to some extent where they're going to go, or is it?
It can be. Some portals are like that, and some portals kind of fluctuate.
Okay. So like consciousness plays a big part in it as well, where a person's focused?
Let's look at it this way. Let's talk about it dimensionally.
Yeah.
In one dimension, a portal is a point. In 2 dimensions, a portal is a circle that you can step through. In 3 dimensions, like your reality, a portal is a sphere. And that's also 4th dimensional, because then in time, the sphere moving in time becomes a cylinder, a tunnel, or what you would call a wormhole. Yes?
Yeah.
Then in 5th dimension, it becomes a hypersphere. And a hypersphere means that whatever point you enter will actually be a completely different tunnel to a different location, even though it's all connected to the same sphere. So your world has point portals, it has circle portals, it has sphere portals, it has wormhole portals, column portals, cylinder portals, if you will, and it has metaspheres, hypersphere portals as well. So each of them does a kind of different thing. Wormhole portals in general can be connected between 2 points, and sometimes it can fluctuate. But for the most part, it is the hyperspheres that are connected to multiple points, and depending on how you enter, where you enter, the angle of entry determines where you wind up on the other side.
So does the pineal gland utilize it? Do we utilize the pineal gland as a hypersphere?
The pineal gland is very, very critical for understanding how to navigate the portals and how to sense when they're open and where they go. So the production, the high production in the pineal gland of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, is crucial to reach a certain state of production and a certain vibratory frequency to be able to sense the portals more clearly and exactly what vibrational location they connect to.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Because the energy is basically information telling you
Yes.
what the portal is
Yes.
in detail.
Yes.
Okay.
And that translates strongly when the pineal gland is at a certain frequency based on the amount of DMT that it produces naturally.
Okay. And then with plant medicines,
Yes.
for let's say there's
Sometimes
MAO
that can
inhibitors.
open it up. The teachers that grow from the earth naturally can help open some of that up, yes.
Will that help with opening it up to a prolonged, long-term experience throughout a person's life?
That depends on you. In other words,
okay.
remember that what the plant teachers are teaching you is how to recognize that state, but you have to get to a place where you know you can simply recreate that state without the plant teacher. Otherwise, the plant teacher has just become a crutch or an addiction.
Right, because I feel that deep breathing actually activates the DMT more
Yes,
than
it does.
anything else I've ever experienced.
It is
with
one of the
plants.
reasons why, this is not something that the channel did consciously, it's one of the reasons why when you experience the idea of this state of our connection with the channel, you hear the breathing change.
Yeah.
It's actually pumping up the production of DMT, so it gives the channel's body more ability for us to utilize it in piercing into different dimensional realms to extract the information that we give to you.
All right, awesome.
It makes the channel a better translation device, a better telephone, in a sense.
Okay.
And a better switchboard.
All right. I have another question.
Yes.
About, you're talking about the hybrid children
Yes.
having certain locations on the earth
Yes.
to help with the
evolution of your
Evolution of
planet
the
into
planet.
the 6th hybrid race, yes.
Now, what about other aspects that we've been doing on Earth with our underground bases, our underwater bases, like Pine Gap and underwater bases in Guam area and
Yes,
stuff like
what
that?
about them?
Well, there's a lot of extraterrestrial interaction there, so there
Yes.
is a sense of meshing with humanity, but it's
There
in a
is,
different
but there
way.
are also a number of different agendas going on.
That's true. Yeah. So because we are doing that, but in a different way with different agendas,
Yes.
is there any way of bringing that more to the surface, or is that going to be too much for the collective?
It will eventually come out, but understand also that the different agendas are representative of different parallel realities that will have different experiences.
Okay. Okay. And then I have another question about how you guys track time or create calendars. Yeah, because, you know, on Earth, we actually track time and create
don't.
calendars and stuff.
We don't.
So is it more of
We operate on pure synchronism.
Okay, so it's more like subjective instead of objective.
Because it is always subjective.
Okay.
Objectivity, in a sense, is your projected illusion, but it's a subjective point of view of objectivity.
Okay, so it's kind of like the ancient tribes around the planet. Some of them had calendars, but they saw every day as a celebration.
Yes, in a sense, you could put it that way. But again, pure synchronism allows us to simply know that we will be where we need to be, exactly when we need to be there, interacting with exactly who we need to interact with at that exact precise moment. We don't have to plan it.
Okay.
It just happens. Because we are all operating on synchronism. We're all operating in the now. Because everything happens now. But it happens in different versions of now. And by being our true selves, we automatically chart our course through all the different versions of now, and we wind up exactly where we need to be now. Does that help?
Yeah.
Obviously, we understand that there are natural cycles in the universe, day, night, things like that. We obviously can recognize that. If you want to say we're tracking that, that's fine. But we don't really look at it in a time-based way. Because for us, in our reality, it's far different than what you all may think. We're not just a bunch of extraterrestrials walking around on the surface of a planet. In our reality, because of our nature at this point, because we are quasi-physical, we actually experience our world as a multiplicity of dimensional experiences. We are walking through a dream after dream after dream after dream in multiple dimensions in many directions simultaneously.
Awesome. Yeah, more of that. That sounds great.
By following the formula, that's what happens eventually.
All right. Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Yes. Good day to you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is exciting.
Yes.
So, I've noticed in the last several years, I have interacted with strangers that sort of come to me, and it feels exciting, and we have a conversation, and in the next moment we part, and I no longer see that person. Like, they disappear completely.
Well, then they may have fulfilled the purpose of having met.
Are they someone who teleported here for
Not necessarily, no. You all act as reflectors for one another. Sometimes it can be beings from other realms, but very often it doesn't need to be. You all can perform the task of being the reflections that you need in any given moment, so people will come in and out of your lives. If they specifically have a particular reason for being there at that moment, and whatever it is you need to get out of it to become more of yourself, that might also allow them at that moment to get what they need to become more of themselves, then the purpose of the meeting may have been fulfilled and you may never need to see them again. And it can be as simple as that, and they can be just as human as you.
Sometimes it's just a touch, too, I've noticed.
Yeah. Again, sometimes it might be something from somewhere else, but not all the time, and probably not even most of the time. Because again, you can all serve that function for each other as reflections of one another. That's what relationships are for. Reflecting to each other what you each need to know to become more of yourself, to support the other in that process. Yes? Okay. And it can happen the way you have described it. That may just be your particular way of gathering that information. Sort of like one of your bees flitting from flower to flower to gather pollen. That bee may never see that flower again, but it's got what it needs, so it moves on.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
So you might just be a busy little bee.
Or a hummingbird. I feel like a hummingbird sometimes.
All right, or a hummingbird. Animal of your choice.
Okay. I, in the last several months, have been seeing the number 27.
That's your synchronicity marker then.
What does that mean?
Many times when you have those kinds of numerical synchronicities, they act as road signs or markers to let you know that at that particular moment, you're exactly in the state you need to be in. Stay there. It reminds you, it reflects to you, hey, you're in that state again. Be there.
And what does that have to do with today's topic of 2027?
You tell me. It's your synchronicity. How does it reflect to you? Does it add to the idea that the 27 keeps coming up for you in all sorts of interesting ways to let you know that you are correctly aligned with your path? And that you are exactly where you need to be?
Yes.
Then you have your answer.
That makes sense.
Yes, it does. That's why I said it.
Right. All right. A couple of years ago, I saw a UFO on a very busy street corner.
The UFO was actually on the corner, or you were?
Well, I was in a car on a corner of Ventura Boulevard and
And where was the vehicle, the craft? You're calling a UFO.
Yes, it was square shaped, and it was pretty much right above me.
Yes, color.
It was nighttime. I'm not exactly sure, but it did have a ring of light around it that kept changing color.
All right.
And it was square shaped.
All right. And so?
So I'm wondering who it was and why were they there?
Oh, all right. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
There is an airport nearby. There are planes taking off right now. Who is on them?
People.
You think we keep track of every single spaceship?
No.
All right. So I can't necessarily tell you who precisely.
Maybe the type of extraterrestrial.
I can't tell you that either, not because I don't know, but because I'm not supposed to.
Why is that?
I can't tell you why. All I can tell you is this. There's no accident in the timing, but the best way to understand it is what kind of a state did it put you in when you had the experience? That's the reason for it. That much I can tell you. So what did you experience in that state? How did you feel?
Excited.
And? Anything else? Did you feel more connected to realities beyond yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
Then that's a signal and a marker for you that that feeling, anytime you remember what that felt like, even if it doesn't feel the same again, you're in that state, and therefore come from that state in all the actions that you take. That's what will serve you best.
That makes sense.
That's how to use it. Yes?
Yes.
In time, we may be able to tell you more specifically who it was, but right now it doesn't serve you to know that, and it is not the appropriate timing for us to divulge that information.
Is that being or several beings, is that related to who rang my doorbell? I think it was either that night or a couple nights after.
No. That's something different as we read your energy.
Can you tell me about that experience?
No. It isn't timing for these things.
Okay. And, all right, around the same time as when I saw the UFO,
yes,
I was in a meditation, and I saw myself interacting with an extraterrestrial.
Yes.
And I asked him his name, and he said Bashar.
Nope.
That wasn't you?
Nope.
Why did I get the name Bashar?
Because you're familiar with us, and the vibration of that being is similar to ours, so you assumed it was us. But it's your own future self that's connected to our society. So the word Bashar is simply your translation, because remember, we don't have names. Bashar is not my name.
Right.
It's a recognition of a vibration. It's the recognition of what I do, because Bashar simply means messenger. So it was simply saying, I have a message. I'm a messenger. The translation into Bashar is simply what you're familiar with. That's why your brain translated the vibration, I'm a messenger, into the word Bashar. Yes?
Interesting.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's you interacting with your own future self.
I like that.
All right. And that gives you the biggest hint I can possibly give you about the UFO.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, fly away, little hummingbird.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Such a pleasure to communicate with you.
And for us as well to communicate with you.
Thank you. What's my frequency?
Right now, about 145 to 157,000 cycles per second.
Okay.
Does that really tell you anything?
I just think like compared to Jesus and Buddha and then your vibration.
Well, Jesus and Buddha were up in the 300,000 cycle per second range because they were truly being more of all that is.
Okay.
None of you are going to be in that range for a little while. You can be, but you're going through processes to recognize the awakening of the Christ consciousness and the Buddha nature within each of you. That's what those messages were all about. You are all Buddhas. You are all Christs because you are all children of God.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And last month, when I was taking quantum healing with my friend, I started channeling something called Zeus. What is it?
What can you translate as that word?
I felt like E.T. I was almost like felt like dying. I felt like very suffocating, dizzy, and it was.
So you were not used to handling that energy that quickly.
Well.
So it was something saying, "Hello, I'm here.
Right.
We can work together."
Right.
But I can only touch in briefly at the moment because you can't handle this energy yet.
Well, I just let them do whatever. I just let the resistance go, and I started feeling the energy, and they gave me a lot of answers.
Okay. Then you adapted very quickly. It touched in and got you used to the idea of what the energy felt like. You were willing to match that frequency and therefore establish a link and a communication channel. So, congratulations. What do you want to do with that? Now that you have established that link and can access information in the way that you prefer to, how does it excite you to use that ability?
Okay. It's just happened next day too. While I was
didn't ask you that. I asked you, how are you excited to use that ability?
like I'm gonna communicate with them.
All right, you're going to continue to communicate. You're going to continue to understand the answers to the questions that you have. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, and you will do that up to a certain point until you feel you have a deeper understanding of the connection, of the link, and of the information that you're receiving. And then what will you do with that information?
Okay.
What will you do with that information when you have enough?
I apply to my life.
Apply to your life, yes. Anything else? Any other expression that seems right for you?
What? Right? What? Highest excitement? What?
Right.
Right.
For you?
Oh, right.
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 For you?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Are you excited to be writing?
Yes.
Oh, you sound so excited.
Lighting? Lighting.
Well, you're not there yet. That's all right. But that may be where it's leading, that you can then bring through information, writing it down in a kind of automatic way, or creating the ideas, penning them down in that way, and going from there. Yes?
Who are they?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
But they are, for now, the idea of the muse, inspiration, linking, creating a bridge and a connection for your own higher self to bring through more information in a way that's right for you. Yes?
Yes. Sounds very exciting.
It is. Keep going. It will get even more exciting.
Thank you. And another thing is, since last year, I'm working on my self-esteem, self-image.
Yes.
And so I
Yes.
write something like whenever I feel something negative, I write it down and then let it go.
Oh, you write it down and let it go.
Let it go. I feel
Writing is already working for you.
Yes, it works.
All right. Well, congratulations.
It really works. And
All right. That's your permission slip. That's what gives your belief system the permission to let go of beliefs that don't work for you. Everyone has a different permission slip.
so every moment I'm brand new.
Repeat that.
Every moment I'm a new person.
You are new every moment, yes. Now you say it. Every moment I am new.
Every moment I'm new.
And now you say it. Took a while to catch on.
Every moment I'm brand new. I'm new.
Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Every moment I am new. Because you are literally new every moment. Literally a new person every moment. With a new past, as we discussed last night. With a new future every moment. Every change changes your past and your future because it has to all be one historic line in your space-time reality. So every change you make, every time you become a new person, every moment, that new person has to have a new past that makes logical sense in your space-time reality that would have had to happen to create that new person linearly. So you're constantly changing your past and your future from the present, from the now. That's why now is your point of power and why the past and the future are illusions that simply exist simultaneously with you. They're not really in the past. They're not really in the future. They all exist now.
So everything exists now.
Yes.
Future and past are illusion.
Yes.
Why my subconscious seems like holding some...
Because of what you are defining yourself to be now. Because you're creating the illusion of continuity that says, my past is real and affects me now. So I will hold on to things, beliefs that I don't prefer, because I believe more strongly that I have no way of letting them go because my past affects my present, when that's not necessarily true. You have to change your belief about your relationship to time, because time is an illusion.
Right. Right.
I know.
Right. But...
But?
But sometimes I cannot handle it.
Yes, you can. It's just that you have a belief that you can't. Remember, negative beliefs don't want you to let them go. So negative beliefs will reinforce the idea that you can't handle letting them go in order to not let them go. You have to see through that as a trick of the negative belief. Again, it's not malicious. It's just the way they're designed, because all beliefs are designed to perpetuate themselves. If they weren't designed to perpetuate themselves, you wouldn't have a physical experience. You would never be able to believe anything is true. But you have to understand that the negative beliefs will use all sorts of other negative aspects in order to get you to not let them go, to perpetuate themselves. In other words, positive beliefs are telling you what's true about you. Negative beliefs are telling you what's not true about you. So they have to work harder to get you to believe what's not true. And they will do that by using such things as fear, or the belief that you can't handle something, or many other devices. But you have to understand that's just what they do, so you won't let them go. The fear, when it grows, the more fearful you become. That tells you that the negative belief has to work that much harder, because it realizes you're getting close to letting it go. So the more afraid you are, the closer you are to letting the fear go. That's the trick. You have to see through that and just keep going.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's enough for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
My friend.
That's enough for now. Thank you.
My friend.
That's enough for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha, Bashar.
Aloha.
So, question for you. When you talked about many will be going to Maui.
Yes.
Why Maui and not like the Big Island?
Haleakala is the heart chakra. is the
Right.
center point. It's where the hybrid children will wind up.
True.
In that particular enclave.
But there's so much space on the Big Island.
Yes, there is. I didn't say everyone in the world would go to Maui.
Okay.
I just said more will go to Maui.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right.
Yes.
So, being that I live on the Big Island now.
Yes. I could tell.
Yes.
But things are happening there.
Many.
Changes are happening
Changes
there.
are happening.
Yes.
And of course, every place on Earth has its own
Of course.
specific energies, archetypes, deities.
Yes, yes.
So, and of course, it's Big Island's very primal.
Yes.
I've been getting used to the energies of the Big Island.
Yes.
But I'm very used to the energies of like the angels and ascended masters and beings like that. And I understand they're there too, but I don't feel their presence there as strongly.
Well, you may simply be in a phase of your life where it's not necessarily important for you to pay that much attention to that. They're always around.
Right.
Again, it's just about what's important and relevant for you to perceive at any given moment based on where you're at in your process and your journey.
True.
I know. That's
But-
why I said it.
But there's certain things I prefer more than others. So,
But are you doing the things that will actually allow you to experience what you say you prefer, or are you doing things that won't? Are your actions in alignment with your excitement and your preferences?
I think that I was in a neutral state for a long time.
Yes.
And now I'm shifting more into my true north.
All right.
There.
All right. And then, so
then they should align.
then if you allow them to align, if you act on them in an aligned way, then everything will be experienced as being aligned. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't mean that you might not test yourself now and then to make sure you actually are aligned or are just pretending that you are. All of you will do that from time to time. Is it just lip service, or are you actually walking your talk, as you say? But as soon as you know you are walking your talk, then in a sense, you won't really need to, shall we say, trick yourself, because it won't really matter what happens to you anymore. It will only matter what you do with what happens. You will not be gauging your serenity on what happens around you. You will simply be choosing your state and able to process anything that happens, no matter how it looks, no matter what anyone else's opinion or experience of it is, no matter how it originated, because you will know that you can give positive meaning to everything for yourself and extract the benefit from it. It doesn't mean that you stop recognizing what's negative and what's positive. It simply means you learn how to use what's negative in a positive way. And by being a living example to others in that way, you give them the option of recognizing that they can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
But you yourself are choosing to live on an edge because it's exciting, isn't it?
Yes. And it's kind of odd there because sometimes it feels like time just stands still. And then other times it feels like once something's happened, then there's no time at all.
Well, time is an illusion.
True.
So it's up to you how you experience it. But I remind you, because it is flexible, because it is just a projection of consciousness, because it is just a side effect of your consciousness shifting through billions of parallel realities, that creates your experience called time and change and space. As I remind you, when you are in the moment, when you're doing what you love to do, and it seems as if no time is passing, you're not paying attention to the passage of time, you actually aren't creating as much time. If it feels like half an hour has gone by and you look up from what you're doing and everyone says, oh no, it's been 5 hours, you have only aged half an hour because you only created half an hour of time.
Yes.
Yes? That's how you stay young, by living in the moment, and paradoxically how you live longer, by staying young, by living in the moment, by not creating as much time, you paradoxically live for a longer time.
Sure. Now I understand that. At the same time, I wonder
Yes,
why...
but some of them did not.
Oh, okay. Geologically, though, places on Earth, are there some places where time, in quotations, may move slower or quicker,
Yes.
quicker,
Yes.
just because of its Displacement.
Yes.
Okay.
And because of the collective consciousness in that area.
Okay.
Different cultures experience time in different ways. And therefore they may imbue that. There may be an aspect of the collective consciousness of Gaia itself, of the earth itself, that reflects the different ways in which the expressions of consciousness on the planet actually view and experience the concept of time. So different places may be set up to experience time in different ways for the different cultural experiences that you can have on the planet. Yes. Okay. So time may move differently in different areas on the earth. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Especially in the areas you call the portals. In a sense, that's what they're all about. Portals are kind of like time twisted up in a way that you can experience many different dimensions of time in one spot.
I like that.
Oh, all right. I'm glad you like that.
Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else?
Yes. So I recently did a DNA test because I was curious about my
Yes.
physical DNA.
Yes.
And some of it came back like how I thought it would be, and some of it was like, oh, this is interesting.
All of you are far more mixed than you think. Remember,
Yeah.
you are all hybridized, and you have many different things throughout your history that you may not know exist within you as DNA markers.
And I didn't really think too much of it, but the only thing it brought up was wondering who the great-great-grandparents might have been, because I was like, oh, I didn't know I had that.
All right. Well, maybe
And
you
it's
should
fine.
take a trip to Scotland and find out.
Yes, Scottish was the most. So that was very interesting. Didn't expect that.
All right. Well, have a good trip, lassie.
And then one last question. Throughout the ages, the rose has been a symbol of many things to
Yes, it
people.
has.
And it just seems like it's such a special thing. And I was wondering if you could talk about the vibration of it and why. Just
Again, it's a big subject. However, you are making energetic connections from your present to other simultaneous existences that have a lot to do with that, such as organizations called the Rosicrucians. Yes?
yes.
Also, all the way back to the idea of the Rose Chapel and the lineage of Mary and Jesus.
Right.
So you're connected to that. That's another aspect of DNA that exists within you.
Okay.
You may wish to investigate that a little bit.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, Bashar. My love to you and all.
Our
the
unconditional
signing.
love to you as well. Is it time for your break?
It's time for our Ustream.
All right. We will answer a few questions from your Ustream audience.
Okay, thank
before your break, before the holotope meditation.
Okay.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
I'm a little husky.
Yes.
Arf, arf.
Are you pulling a sled?
No, I'm pretty footloose and fancy free.
All right. What would you like to discuss?
Okay, so we have a few Ustream questions. One of them is, who created or invented DNA?
Who created DNA?
I know. I can only pass these questions on to you.
Yes, yes, yes.
And do all physical beings, regardless of form and location in the multiverse, have some form of DNA?
DNA is the first physical expression of consciousness in physical terms. It represents the idea of the spiral of creation from as above, so below, and also going from below to as above. So it's a double spiral, one coming down, one going up. That's simply the way the idea expresses itself in physical terms first. So you are all first and foremost actually DNA beings, and then the DNA attaches to itself other cellular structures in a sense like a suit, that it can then have mobility and senses and perceptions within the idea that create personality so you can have physical experiences. Every being within the multiverse that experiences itself in some way, shape, or form physically has a type of template that represents what it is and how it experiences itself. It's not exactly always what you recognize as DNA, so we'll just use the more generalized term. There is always an energy template that exists that lays down the parameters for how the consciousness crystallizes itself in physical terms. If you want to call it DNA, you can, but it, in some cases, is nothing like what you understand DNA to be. However, you will still always find, this is what we have always found in our investigation with the hundreds of civilizations we have encountered that are physical, you will always find some expression of the spiral in there, even if it's not exactly the idea of chromosomes in the way you understand DNA. It might even just be a pattern in something, but it will always be presented almost like a fingerprint of creation, a fingerprint of the link between as above and so below. It's something that just gets frozen in physical terms when something experiences itself as coming from an energy form, a spirit form, into a physical representation. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Actually, it's fascinating, and it's so efficient.
Yes. But it is also representative, because that means there's always a bridge, there's always a link, there is always a clue that lets you know you can always know you're connected to Source, always. There is no such thing as being disconnected from it. You can create an experience of disconnection, but you're using your connection to create the experience of disconnection. In fact, if you look at it backwards, being able to have an experience of disconnection is proof that you're connected, because if you weren't connected, you would have no experience at all. So that spiral fingerprint is, in a sense, your clue that there is always a link and a connection to Source.
Okay, and when people ground themselves, the idea of grounding,
yes,
does that lower your vibration?
No, it can in fact raise it. The idea of grounding in that context simply means you are stabilizing your frequency. You are honing your frequency to something that is already an expression of your natural self. So your natural self will relate to and identify with the nature around you in such a way that, like a tree, you put down roots very strongly and ground yourself so that you have an anchor from which to rise into the stars, into the heavens, without detaching yourself from the grounded, balanced state. It's just creating an anchor point that allows you to explore higher frequencies without becoming disoriented, without becoming ungrounded in that sense.
That's very helpful. And then lastly, one of the questions was about the hybrid children.
Yes.
And people would like to be able to visit those enclaves where they'll be staying, or they are staying.
Yes, well, some people will in the future.
So they probably want to know, maybe, you know, what are their chances of getting to interact with the children when they're in the enclaves?
It depends on many factors, not the least of which is the formula. Right. When you raise your frequency, you certainly make it more likely that you'll be able to interact with beings of similar high frequency, which the children, the hybrids, will be. So, what are your chances? They're exactly as good as the odds that you create for yourself and the probabilities you create for yourself by aligning with your true vibration, by acting on your passion to the best you can with no insistence on the outcome. You determine those odds utterly.
You say that so well.
Oh, well, thank you.
So we have a little surprise for you.
Yes.
First of all, Sambasi is going to come up here, and she wants to ask you some questions for herself, and then she has something to give you from all of us.
Oh, all
okay?
Yes.
Hello, Bashar.
And good day to you.
I have a hybrid friend.
Yes.
And her name is Ethiopia.
Yes.
She is a shapeshifter.
Yes.
She can turn into a deer and a fox, and she is also a girl.
Although remember, that's the effect, but the idea is that she is using parallel realities to create that presentation of herself. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
So, my mommy was meditating and connecting to a deer image.
Yes.
She opened her eyes and she saw a deer outside the house. Who or what was that?
Didn't you just say it was Ethiopia?
I didn't.
But you did, because you said Ethiopia can present herself as a deer. So why wouldn't it be Ethiopia?
Good point.
Thank you. We sometimes make them.
So,
Yes?
I enjoy playing with water, and
Yes.
sometimes I feel like I can move it with my mind.
Yes. Well, it's highly possible since you're inventing the water with your consciousness anyway. When there is no difference between you and the water, it will move. Just like you move yourself. You do know that you are mostly made of water, yes?
Yes.
Well, you move yourself, don't you?
Yes.
Just because you think the water is separate from you is the only reason that most people can't move it. When you understand that there is no separation, it's just a different expression and a different reflection of you, it will move as you move. It will flow with you.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. And? One more?
Yes. I would just like to say thank you, Bashar, for your love and encouraging us to use the formula. We would like to give you flowers, and by the way, you are a very good father to your children, and we all love you. Happy Father's Day, Bashar.
Thank you. A father could not be more proud of the children that you are, of the cosmos. We thank you, and our unconditional gratitude, appreciation, and love to you all.
Thank you, Bashar. Happy Father's Day. And we'll have the holotope now.
Please take a short break. We will resume this transmission to give you your holotope meditation to help crystallize in the energy of the day. How's it going? All right, I will say, let us continue the transmission in the following way. By each of you allowing yourselves to become very relaxed in your seats. Begin to simply breathe gently and easily. Allow yourselves to let go of the cares of the day. Let them all just melt away. And continue to breathe gently, softly. Let your body relax. And as your music plays and your lights begin to dance, allow yourselves to focus on the holotope before you. And consider it to be a timetable, a calendar of crisscrossing parallel events, all existing in the now. Allow yourself to simply let the play of light into your eyes, gently reminding you of all the different pathways and all the different perspectives and all the different points of view that you've experienced in your lives on the path that you have walked, on the journey You are still on. Allow yourself to see the cycles that exist within. Allow yourselves to let the vibrations of the music deepen within you. As you drift in this dream with us, and allow yourselves to experience the timing, the perfect timing that exists in the synchronicity you experience in your lives, that brings everything you need to you exactly when you need it, and opens you up to higher vibrations, so that when the time comes for contact to begin, you will be present and aware and awake and willing to engage and explore and exchange and expand and learn and share and grow and be who you truly are, so that you may better receive the gifts that we have to give to you, and better able to give the gifts that you are to us, so that we may interact as a family and grow together on your world, on our world, and in the many worlds of the cosmos that are your neighbors, that you have yet to meet, but with whom one day you will become very familiar, sharing experiences, sharing life, sharing light, sharing hearts, as beautiful reflections in the multidimensional crystal of creation. We honor you, we cherish you, in gratitude and appreciation for you and your unique experience and expression of Earth, that we may then be able to welcome into our alliance among the stars, so that we may play together, grow together, explore together, become more and more of who we are together, as aspects of the One that we see reflected in your eyes as you see those reflections in ours. We support you unconditionally. Your path is your own. Your choices are your own. Your experiences are your own. Cherish them. Value them. They are unique expressions of creation. You are a garden of flowers, opening to the light of the sun, the everlasting and eternal light of all that is, so that you may reach out as the lines on the holotope reach out and interconnect, forming a net and a web of interrelationship, interconnection for the cosmic family to which you belong, and are now only beginning to become aware of. Our deep appreciation to you that you have opened your doors and sent out an invitation that we may respond to, that we may interact with you, that we may get to know you as you get to know yourselves. so that one day you may see yourselves as we see you, as fully dimensional beings of light and love and promise and passion and joy and creativity, the masters of limitation, experiencing the transformation from darkness to light in the most beautifully unique way that enhances and enriches the entirety of creation by your experience of becoming more of who you are, remembering more of who you are, who you were created to be. 2027, 9 years hence. A cycle of 9, a cycle of completion of the second 40 years, so that your civilization may transform. And so that at the end of this cycle of 40 years, you shall no longer be wandering in the desert, but will begin to know your way home and begin to feel the warm greetings and the open arms of the family that is waiting there to greet you among the stars. And so it will begin. Here and there at first, in isolated places, but more and more every day, and you will begin to hear of these things and know of these things through what synchronicity brings you. And more you will begin to realize that others know also what you know, though they may not have spoken of it before. You will find each other in that vibratory reality, that parallel experience, that version of Earth that allows you to experience more and more every day in the years to come, starting now and continuing onward, and having begun before this moment the path that leads to peace, to joy, to love, and to your true power as an expression of all that is, as a child of existence itself. Breathe in the rarefied air of the beautiful atmosphere of the new realities that await you, of the probabilities that stand before you, of the parallel paths that are spread out before your sight, that allow you to determine, as you increase your discernment every day, which paths are true for you, allowing others to find their own paths in their own time. For there is no hurry, there is no rush. You are eternal and infinite beings who will always exist, for existence is your nature, and you cannot become non-existent. You will change, but you will never cease to exist. You will always be, no matter what form you take, physical, non-physical, higher dimensional, no matter what form you take, you will always be the unique point of view that you are, for that can never die. It is a necessary point of view for all that is to be, all that it is. And without you, it would not be thus. You are necessary, you are worthy, you are valid, you are deserving just by the very fact of your existence, a fact which can never, never, ever go away. Because there is only now, the eternal now, And since you are already in the now, you will always be in the now, for now is all there is. Two 2027 is within you, as is all reality. So feel it blooming and blossoming in your heart and opening up to greeting more of your family as they wish to greet you and open their hearts to you. Breathe it in, drift and dream, be at peace. And now simply, as you allow the music to play within you and the lights to find their path within you, allow yourself just to imagine you are standing on the shores of an infinite sea of creation, with wave upon wave upon wave coming to you, bringing you everything you need, for it is the synchronicity sea. And you just absorb the sights, the sounds, the smells, all the sensations of the waves lapping at your feet, bringing you riches and knowledge and beauty and love. So for a few moments, just stand on that shore and hear the waves. Continue to breathe gently and easily. Continue to allow your hearts to beat in the rhythm of creation, of the cosmos. And take with you all the gifts that we have shared with you this day. Make them your own. Use them as you wish. It is your choice. It always has been, and it always will be. You are free to choose who you prefer to be. That is your birthright. That is your essence, and that is your truth. Our deepest appreciation to you, and gratitude and unconditional love. On this day, your Father's Day, you are in the Father's arms, unconditionally supported and provided for. Allow your music to soften. Allow your lights to dim, but remain floating in freedom on the currents of the cosmic sea, and let yourself go with the flow, because your current knows exactly where you need to go. Breathe it in and make this your own truth, expressed in your own way. We thank you. We love you. Be at peace and welcome home. Sweet dreams and good day.